As she considers her historic Grand Ole Opry induction, Reba McEntire, lovingly dubbed as the Queen of Country, is traveling down memory lane. When the Voice coach performed her popular song, Somebody Should Leave, during the Opry's 60th anniversary television special in 1986, she was officially welcomed into the Opry family. On January 16, 40 years later, the country legend made a comeback to the renowned stage, this time to assist in the induction of Suzy Bogguss, a trailblazer in the 1990s country genre. Reba McEntire was there at the Grand Ole Opry on January 16 to induct Suzy Bogguss, a close friend and fellow country legend. For both ladies, the evening was a turning point, but for McEntire, who was commemorating 40 years since her own Grand Ole Opry entrance, it was especially meaningful. McEntire posted a video of her 1986 induction on Instagram, in which she performed her well-known classic, Somebody Should Leave. This week marks 40 years ago, she captioned the photo. Who could possibly believe it? I'm excited to return to the Opry Circle tomorrow night to commemorate 40 years and assist in the induction of my friend, Suzy Bogguss. In an emotional and tearful address, McEntire formally welcomed Bogguss as an inductee that evening. "Oh my gosh, I was over there boo-hooing, squalling, bawling," she said. "Suzy, this is really unique. This family is amazing. They are affectionate. Thank you so much. Everyone in this building is crying. This circle, which dates back many, many generations, is very special and important to all of us," she added. "And it means a great deal to me and everyone else in this building to be able to present you with this trophy." The voice of Suzy Bogguss sounds like that of an angel. McEntire discussed her induction and the reasons for her choice of Somebody Should Leave, the second hit from her second album, My Kind of Country, in an Opry documentary about her career. With sorrowful lyrics like, "I read a book, you watch TV as our love dies quietly." The song is a divorce ballad. "The fact that I have no idea what I just read makes me very sad. I still recall how excited I was to join. I was crying like a baby because I was so emotional." As a video of her sobbing on stage that evening played, McEntire said, "It was just so special." She said, "I don't know why we chose Somebody Should Leave," in reference to her song. "I am the queen of depressing tunes, so yes, it's a depressing song. At one point, I had a friend who said, 'I wanted to do one of your songs for my wedding. But you don't have any up-tempo, happy love songs,' she added. 'I wonder why that is,' I continued, 'because all of yours are sad.' There were nights that profoundly, quietly, and in real time, altered country music, long before viral moments, streaming charts, and social media spotlights. One of those occasions came in 1986, when a fiery redhead from Oklahoma took the stage on the most revered platform in the history of country music, and gave a performance that would reverberate for decades. Reba McEntire had the night. The Grand Ole Opry was that stage. And what transpired was the emergence of a legend rather than merely a debut. The Opry stage's weight. You must comprehend what the Grand Ole Opry stands for in order to appreciate the significance of Reba McEntire's Opry debut. It is more than just a location. Built on custom, narrative, and the voices that influenced American music, it is a living institution. Numerous icons had already stood beneath its lights by 1986. Dolly Parton, Patsy Cline, Loretta Lynn, and Hank Williams. Every performance contributed a new dimension to the history of the Opry, and every newcomer took the stage aware that they were being evaluated against the core of country music. The pressure was tremendous for Reba, but the moment was also tremendous. Prior to the crown, Reba by the middle of the 1980s, Reba McEntire was well known. Years of hardship, rejection, and reinvention had already been part of her life. She battled to establish her voice early in her career in a field that wasn't sure how to handle a woman who was fearless, emotionally unfiltered, and reluctant to fit into preconceived notions. She had steel in her spine as she sung about heartbreak, about gracefully surviving, about the lived-in, not polished, stories of women. Reba was on the verge of becoming a celebrity by 1986, but her Opry debut signified more than just financial success. The country music itself served as confirmation. A night filled with expectations, the atmosphere changed when Reba took the stage at the Opry that evening. The audience was paying serious attention, not just observing. She didn't show up with grandiose spectacle or ostentatious antics. Rather, she exuded a calm assurance that she belonged there, even though she hadn't been formally informed of it yet. She attracted attention just by being there. The voice that dispelled quietness, Reba's voice, infused the Opry house with an obvious sense of reality from the very first note. It was accurate in addition to being strong, controlled but unafraid of emotions. Each line struck the right chord, piercing the audience with conviction and clarity. She didn't go overboard. She didn't hesitate. She had faith in the song and, more significantly, in herself. The crowd was not seeing a hopeful newcomer at that very moment. They were seeing an artist who already knew what she wanted to do. Feelings above perfection, it was Reba's emotional honesty, not her technical mastery, that made her debut so memorable. Her delivery was infused with personal experience. It didn't feel like a performance. Strength didn't seem forced. Every word sounded more like something she had been through than something she had dreamed up. Authenticity has always been important in country music, and Reba was the epitome of it that evening. A woman taking control of her own space, Reba McEntire entered the Opry stage with subdued defiance during a time when female performers still had to struggle for recognition and space. She wasn't there to copy other people. She wasn't there to soften her edges. She was there to be just that. A woman sharing important stories. The night was historic just because of it. The response of the audience, something changed in the room as the performance went on. The cheers became more intense. The focus became more acute. By the last note, it was evident that Reba had been embraced by the Opry audience, not merely accepted. This was not a courteous expression of gratitude. This was acknowledgement. Acknowledgement of a voice that would soon come to define a generation of country music. A pivotal moment in the history of the nation. In retrospect, Reba's Opry debut in 1986 seems foreboding. She would rise to prominence as one of the most significant female figures in country music history in a matter of years, taking over charts, reinventing narrative, and opening doors for upcoming female musicians. However, none of it was assured that evening. Her dedication to the song, the crowd, and the honesty in her voice were all assured. That dedication remained unwavering. The Opry and Reba. An enduring relationship. Not only did the Grand Ole Opry witness Reba McEntire's ascent, but it also became a part of her narrative. She would return to that platform innumerable times over the years, with each performance bringing new chapters to a relationship based on respect. She was recognized by the Opry not only as a celebrity, but also as a guardian of the heritage of country music. And that first stride onto the stage in 1986 was the beginning of it all. Why this performance is still important. Watching Reba McEntire's Opry debut now is a masterclass in artistry rather than merely a nostalgic exercise. It serves as a reminder that greatness takes time to achieve. It is created by perseverance, fortitude, and a steadfast faith in your own voice. That performance is evidence that authenticity is timeless in a field that is always evolving. A guide for upcoming artists, Reba's debut offers a potent message to today's young artists. You don't have to be loud to be heard. To fit in, you don't need to conform. All you need to do is be bold enough to stand in it and be honest. That's exactly what Reba McEntire did that evening in 1986. The legacy starts. Nothing particularly noteworthy occurred when the last cheers died down and Reba left the Opry stage. There were no videos that went viral. No quick news. However, an irreversible event had taken place. A new pillar had been added to country music. And that first performance's power, raw, authoritative, and profoundly human, remains the same decades later as fans continue to see it. Because explosions don't create legends. In times of truth, they are born.